Just okay, yeah. This mic is any fun. Anyway, so
use it for emphasis.
Okay, well, it's 1:02. Let's get into the pleasantries, and then after the Black Griffin stuff ends, they'll hopefully come here because I have nothing else to do. So, hi, by the way. Hi, by the way. We are of the Overmare Studios, and we're making the Fallout Equestria game. It's how many of y'all, just to get a head count, are familiar with the fic? How many of you have read it? All the way through. Wow, pretty.
It's kind of half and half right now, I'd say.
Okay, cool.
Even.
Excellent. All right. Well then you'll be happy to know that the skeleton, just before we get anything, the skeleton of the fic is all intact. So sorry, am I jumping?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Yes, we are, because this next slide might be relevant.
Might be relevant.
Might. Oh no, you're gonna freeze. Oh, it is. We'll just
no.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
So.
Okay, so we have had this panel rated 14A. We know Vincent just said all ages stuff, but
so we've adjusted content for all ages, so it shouldn't be shocking, shouldn't be disturbing to anyone.
But we are going to be talking about some pretty heavy-handed subjects. I mean, the fic goes into like slavery and like mutilation and stuff, and I can see one who might be under the age range there.
Steve, that means you.
Are you
get out? No.
are y'all that small child's guardians?
What?
Asking to make sure if it's okay for him to say.
It's okay.
No. It's okay for him to say?
It's okay.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
We're good.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so the content of this, like we said, it does expect to be somewhere around an M rating, but we are adjusting for conventions we're extending across United States, Europe. Our team's over right now in Finland and everything, and we each have to like customize the panels and everything to be like, does this go with the code of contact? And where are you off? I need you.
I'm just checking stuff.
There's somebody out there. There's someone talking to you. It's just voices.
I know. Okay, so.
You good?
Anyway, are you super okay?
I already have a question. Yeah.
How has it been in Australia?
I think we have one person in Australia.
Yeah, Zane on 2D.
Oh, there's Zane?
Yeah, Zane on 2D.
Yeah.
So.
Zane's on 2D.
What is Zane?
It's on programming.
He's on programming? Oh, okay, well, we have Zane on programming. He's in Australia.
That probably rides into the next panel of...
No, he's like wondering how are the M-rated laws going in Australia.
Oh, well...
As far as that goes?
Well, considering we're going to be releasing this thing for free on the internet, and it's probably going to be spread by BitTorrent.
I can't control that.
It'll outcry from Australia.
We're not counting our chickens yet, but it's probably not going to be by Steam, so it's probably just going to be moving through the fandom. I am going to ask if you guys can hold your questions until the end. We do have a specific Q&A section. We have about an hour of content. They gave us an hour and a half, so
plenty of time.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, we'll stay for the entire hour and a half, and we'll chat with y'all.
We planned this actually for like an hour, and then we just got the schedule last week, and we're like, we have an hour and a half segment. Oh dear. So last hour we've been like in the Starbucks on the crappy Wi-Fi, just going.
But anyway,
can we do this? We can get more content, I'm sure.
Anyway,
we have more to talk about, but yeah, just a little quick panel overview. We already did an intro. So a quick panel overview of this whole thing, where we're going to spread out over the hour and a half. Is obviously we're just going to give you rundown of Fallout Equestria, a little 101.
I don't think they need it though. Like, those hands shot up pretty good.
It's a few bullet points. We can get by, I think.
Getting everybody on the same page.
Who the hell we are, who the hell our team is, and a few other people. Pardon my language. I'm gonna keep that down.
I thought it was gonna be me.
No,
I'm first.
I think I'm gonna need this. It's very bad. But
for those of you in the back, it is in fact Applejack's cutie mark.
So we're also going to go about a bit of process, because when we have so many people, it's not just like 2 of us making the game, there's over 60 people, and we're getting into why and what we're doing in the process flow, and how come we need people pretty much just on management full-time. And we're also going to go a little bit into why Canada, because obviously as to why we chose Canada as our home location, to why it's awesome, great and free and all that. And then, Canada, we're here, woo! Not so much in Finland, but... And then a little bit of Q&A, and that's ask your heart's content, like, don't hold back. Oh, cool.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Where did we totally lost our introduction slide, didn't we?
No.
No? Okay, it's there.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay. Even though it's an odd place, I will roll with it. So as you're probably aware, if any of you read based on a fan fiction by an author by the name, she goes by Kkat. And it's actually gained a lot of, it started in 2012 and gained probably a lot of attraction and everything, posted many times elsewhere. Probably considered one of the longest, maybe not necessarily one of the greatest of some, but it interests us, and that's probably why we're here.
I did a word count. It's twice the size of the entirety of Lord of the Rings.
Does it mean as good as Lord of the Rings?
Well, that's up to people's opinions, and they're entitled to everything. So anyway, no, I mean it. Like Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King, ×2 is fine.
You probably have to set aside a good. It took me what, like 60 hours or something to get there.
Oh God, yes, and especially some huge chapters. But anyway.
Yeah. So all you need to know to go in the game, though, like how we're building this around, is all you need to know: post-apocalyptic Equestria, and the fact that zebras and ponies, they just didn't get along. I don't know if one stole each other's marbles or something, but that's just how these things roll on the playground.
What Kyle is trying to say is that who here has played Fallout? Okay, excellent. Hands down.
Every day.
Okay, well, yeah, and that's why you're here. So basically, the history of Fallout is, the Americans and the Chinese get into a war over fossil fuels, and then the parallel here is the zebras and the ponies get into a war over coal and gems, and bad stuff happens, and big old, I guess, bells and nukes.
Yeah, generally referred to as atomic punk, pretty much. And you get a lot of actually moral ambiguity. Do you want to say that word for me?
Moral ambiguity.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to struggle through this English language.
And just popping back up there. I didn't know this until about a week ago, but apparently it's considered atom punk, which is similar to steampunk in the way that in steampunk we didn't evolve past the Industrial Revolution, versus atom punk where we didn't evolve past the nuclear age. Hello.
Atom punk is better.
Well, we tend to think so.
That's why we're here, right? And that's probably why you're all here. Yay.
And there's a lot of and like I was saying, there's a lot of moral ambiguity. Like if anybody's played the DLC from Fallout of the Pit, yeah, the whole like, do I save this little girl who will cure this entire pit of slaves? It's
both sides are good, but equal parts evil.
Exactly. So we're carrying that over into our game.
Things progress in things you don't way you want them to or expect them to necessarily.
You think you're doing something good, but then it turns out you like killed an entire town.
No good deed goes unpunished. Nice.
You will not feel good playing our game. You sure that now?
The stuff explodes and it's impossible.
Yeah, that's all that matters, right?
Yep.
And definitely stuff to move on here.
Is it doing stuff?
I think it's like thinking. It's just, there we go. Yeah. Arrow keys don't work. So I'm generally referred to as Airplay. You can call me Kyle, whatever you prefer. I'm the programming lead along with the website guru, I guess people refer to me as. I also fix a lot of the repo problems and websites, and I smack things with hammers and hope they work. That about sums it up. Yep.
And I'm Yondi, or Andy, whatever y'all prefer. And I'm basically, sound director means I'm making sure the voices are sounding nice, the sound effects are sounding nice, and the music is sounding nice, and everything's playing all cool together in F-Mod. So I do a lot of stuff. And
I love how you said y'all, because you can easily tell that you're from the States just from that.
Oh, shush.
So for anyone who doesn't know, actually, Yondi came all the way up from Connecticut here yesterday.
So I've been in lots of places. So. And how many of y'all have heard the Wasteland Whalers music on YouTube? Just a few. Awesome. Well, the rest of you haven't. It's Wasteland Whalers on YouTube, and we have Velvet Remedy songs. And it's me, my music lead, and then a couple of contributing musicians. We have a gorgeous violinist who you'll be hearing lately. So that's kind of my jam, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, so basically, though beyond what you see right here, there's around 60 people around the world that are actually on the team, not including some external contracts and external outsourcing and stuff. Quite diverse, actually. Like our other music lead, is actually has a PhD, 35 over in Czech Republic, and he has students working on this. He has so lots of resources that are expendable.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have a 16-year-old programmer, Gordon.
Yeah, so, Gordon's pretty amazing actually. He's done some great stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's your age range there. It's really honestly, it blows my mind the kind of age range that we have with everybody working on this project.
Yeah, pretty much people say like, oh, all age ranges. There's no limitation on that at all. And you know, a few other things we got here is, of course, it's going to be standalone. This actually used to be a mod, and then I was just one day sitting in there in the stable, and I'm trying to. Has you ever tried to actually stand up a book in the GEC before, just to try and to get it level and to get the book?
Come on in, hang out.
Join us. See, we can entice more people. See, these people come by, we just be like, join us. None of us. At least you guys aren't all yelling like fun or something like that from BronyCon. Last year, every panel you go into is just 5 minutes and interruptions of fun.
Thank you for not being obnoxious. I really appreciate it.
I don't mind. Yeah. It's not as bad as, like I said, when you get the hordes of like Pinkie Pies and you just hear fun. You're like, what is that? It's approaching. And then you just see a bunch of bouncing Pinkie Pie cosplays come around the corner. You're like, oh God, run for your life. Throw the child, it's not worth it.
So anyway, we were trying to make a mod with an engine that was made back in 2007. So it was safe to say that we were ripping our hair out. It took 10 hours to clutter one room.
Yeah, pretty much to clutter one room with like books, props, and stuff. And it's very picky, it likes to crash, but at the same time, it doesn't mean necessarily it's bad, because talked to a few of the programmers who've worked on it before, and stuff is doable, but after getting the notes from research team, yeah, we had a team dedicated to research, like this is what has to happen, this is how the plot goes, this is things. We definitely tend to like have paths around that, because we consider that the Little Pit playthrough. But when we have to consider some scenes that were kind of breaking points, I guess you could say, or where they all kind of congressed into one, yeah, they were quite massive, and my little computer would crash every time. Just, I don't.
So anyway, we basically assumed that building the basics of the Fallout engine from scratch would be easier than using the actual Fallout engine.
Not necessarily from scratch, but we're using actually Unity 3D to actually achieve all this. We've built layers on top of Unity 3D that we call the Crusader engine, actually. And then we've stripped out layers and everything, and we've actually been trying to. Join us. Okay. And what we've done with that is actually being able to, we're trying to redo the entire rendering pipe as well. We have a programmer, Dokar, who's working full-time on that to try and get these realistic shaders working, because there's some, it doesn't always look realistic, in my opinion. You can achieve it, I'm just saying it's not possible, but we want to rewrite that rendering pipe to actually be a lot faster, because we have too many draw calls, because we have incredible amount of props just when developing our stable 2 and everything. There's so many props. You have a giant orchard in there and swaying trees in the wind and everything. Or wind inside.
It is gorgeous.
Okay, it's gorgeous, but there's fans that are generating wind. There we go.
Yes.
I should word
I
that.
made the sound for them. I attached them.
You should know of all people. Yes.
I do.
You can explain how gorgeous they are.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay,
they are gorgeous.
I'll stop you there. Okay, we obsess over these small details, and that's generally what gets us caught up a lot. Actually, slows us down in progress. But you know, having no deadlines, being able to work with great amount of team, you know, I have no regrets of that. So
moving on.
Yeah, we're also nonprofit, I guess is one way to put it. We haven't registered for any nonprofit yet, but we have absolutely zero income, so everything is basically out of pocket. We don't accept donations or anything.
Yeah, because basically, if either Bethesda or Hasbro hears that we're making money off of, basing off their properties, we're kind of screwed. So
there's certain ways the derivative works. I'm not going to provide any legal advice, like I said, and that kind of plays into the why Canada. We'll get into that later. But that's just one way we've added it as a safety.
Yeah, we do have a video on YouTube, but that's
Canada doesn't.
Exactly.
Little C&D is magic. If anyone wants to check that out, I give a little presentation after consulting with a lot of lawyers, actually. I had to fly one out from Toronto, actually, on copyright and just be like, look, am I crazy or are these the rules here? You know?
He looked at the thing and went, yup, and flew back.
That's pretty much what it was, and then billed me $500 for saying that.
All right.
It's pricey.
Epics got that.
How much you want to bet Wi-Fi died?
Don't you dare. No!
Well, I'm already 90 megabytes over the limit, actually. It's kind of funny.
No, we're going to have to go local. What are you doing?
No?
Oh, no, here it is. Yep.
Yeah, but when you click present, it's like,
aha.
Oh, awesome. Is this was actually the next one? So yeah, the Y Canada part.
There it is. Here we go.
So there was an amendment back in 2012. So if anyone here gets any creative juices from this and wants to actually make their own work, there was an amendment added, so in accordance with Bill C-11, that basically for user-generated content, for basically derivative works that followed like 3 principles, basically being non-profit was one of them, recognizing the original content owner, acknowledging that, and I believe there was one other.
No money?
We said no money.
We said
how much more?
money.
How much more no money can we throw? There was one other condition there, I believe, but
Oh, jeez.
oh yes, it couldn't have a substantial commercial adverse effect. So it's not like I could go and make the MLP, game, whatever it is, by Gameloft or whatever. That one that everyone probably was addicted to and spent too many gems.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah.
Okay, just me. Okay, but I can't go and remake that and be like, oh, here's the free version and stuff like that, because it's gonna have commercial impact, and that's definitely what we want to avoid. We're definitely targeting a more mature audience. It's more niche. There's a lot of things to stay in accordance.
Hi, you want to come hang out?
No, I'm just looking for Vince.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a compliment. It's good to be in here.
All right, see you later.
So I'm not going to get like more into that legal part. You can always look into it or talk to me after. I can't provide legal consultation on it. I just kind of give you the breakdown of what our point is.
But basically, we're within the parameters that the game will continue to be made, and so
No C&D.
these will not happen.
Oh, get them, but they're going right in the shredder, and I'm going to laugh.
Anyway, so moving on.
So now the game. All right, and is probably Black Griffin's up by now. No, that's our 10 minutes. Wow, we've burned only 20 minutes. 20 minutes?
Shush.
Okay. I ran about time. So yeah, again, first or third person. We have a choice to switch between the two. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Not only that, but you'll see this when the full demo comes out in the next few days or so, but we don't have first person, come out to third person. We have first person and then scroll out to your node.
So like World of Warcraft.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank
It's pretty because Hamish was like, oh, I kind of want to put in, variable third person. I looked at that, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? This is awesome. So yeah, while you're walking down, you're like, I'm gonna go to third person.
So you just see her as I get to peek around corners. I can see right now everyone's peeking around corners. Like, go to third person, see around corners. It's gonna happen, but you know what else we have on top of that? Probably an FOV slider, and Total Biscuit would love us for that. Yes? Our joke.
Yeah, no.
So, with I just want to correct you on something here. I just realized that you said the demo straight up. Okay, it's the demo gameplay of what we're doing. Not the playable demo.
Not a hands-on.
Stop promising things.
I didn't promise things. It's going to be a gameplay demonstration. That demo is short for demo.
The internet never forgets. That's
Sorry.
one thing Gaben has said. The internet
Anyways.
never forgives either. And you
Posted
just...
on 5 sites.
Exactly. But don't worry, it is coming, and we'll talk about that in a bit, actually, some exclusive content on that. So yeah, again, it's going to be obviously open world. It takes a lot from Fallout, obviously, because derivative work. But we actually...
Do we want to talk about squad commands?
There's a little bit, okay, that's more game mechanics.
Yeah,
we can get into that a little bit later. Just a simple overview is like, okay, open world, Fallout, I get it. Quests, multiple choice endings, and
Not 3
the
different
paths.
explosions.
Pretty much. There was there another one? No, there was just 3.
Yeah, it's 3.
It's been so long. Oh, Bioware. So the limitation is some customization. So we did make a pretty game-impacting decision that we're like, you're gonna play unicorns. And that's not because like it's a master race or anything, no. No, it's actually because we wanted to give more in-depth mechanics to a unicorn to actually be able to work on the gameplay. And so there was some gameplay limitations, but game design and game level design played into it as well. We're like, okay, well, somebody's a Pegasus. It's not so much like, oh, we're breaking the fic or anything. It's more to the point that we want everyone in their class to feel at home. And we want everyone to be able to be like, if I'm a Pegasus, well, I should be able to fly up on top of this building, go inside, and maybe approach it from multiple directions. And with more classes, the amount of options become exponential, or end up we just making a shitty game. That's not to say we aren't, but just safe bet there.
Plus, if we just have unicorn, we can get real in depth with the magic system.
And no one would choose
What?
our opponent. No one would choose their opponent.
Exactly, because we actually started playing around with that. The idea that the Earth opponents can use potions, or they're the only ones that can wear power armor. So and it's ridiculous. I mean, like it's like giving someone. My friend John calls it the Jedi rule. That if you have Jedi as a class, who doesn't want to be a friggin' Jedi? Like everybody would want to be a Pegasus, but if you add the Z-axis, like you were saying, the level design components increase exponentially, and like the game wouldn't come out until about 2050. So
that 2050 deadline.
Anyway, so,
I'm gonna hold you to that. Still gonna beat out Half-Life 3.
Still before Half-Life 3.
If anything. But there are other levels of customization. Like we do want to personalize it. Like we're looking on hue colors. We're looking on different, maybe different body masses. I think so far.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
playing around with that. There was unfortunately an unfortunate incident also with the hair modifier, but we don't want to get into that too much.
We're hoping we have a pony creator at some point.
That's basically what we're aiming for. So the demo would basically contain the pony creator walking around and conversations. We have worked on AI a lot, to actually feel like you're in a bustling stable where people go to jobs, people do stuff, and we have it working where they're like engaging in conversations with each other randomly, and you can just find out information just from walking around the stable on a daily basis. So, and we want to do that for every other environment and just make a footprint of that and clone it over and over and over. So we want to make it actually matter, and we're going to quite great lengths to do this because this has been in development for probably, I'd say 2 years now, and are really making headway with it. We're just picking up.
To be fair, we did hit the reboot button about a year ago.
Yeah, so when we actually had to switch engines, we're just like,
yeah. So.
Well, now what can we do? Well, now we're not limited by any scope of the imagination. I feel that is absolutely great. But I guess we're going to move on from there. It's kind of the breakdown of the game. And watch this, I'll just watch. So, what has all been involved in like what we've accomplished and what other departments have accomplished? Because we've had to break up everybody into good departments. Obviously, I'm part of programming department. You're part of sound, voice acting department, and God knows what else.
And
you do.
music, and script.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Your ego right out there.
No, it's hard, dude.
No, I know it is. I'm just teasing you. But basically, we want to explain each way to do this and some of the choices actually made, and actually try to give you a visual understanding of how in-depth this actual demo, when it does come out, is going to be. And we're actually going to do that by actually showing just one. We're going to start off by showing the script process. So, the important amount of the world, what they go through in the world building, what engaging conversations do they create, and they have to make dialogue trees. And when they do this, actually in Chat Mapper, we actually have, our engine actually parses Chat Mapper into, why am I standing over there? I should be the one standing over there.
No, I'm going to ask this question. Does anybody not know who this is? You do not know who this is? Okay.
Yep.
Oh wow, almost had the room. Okay, good. I'm glad I asked this question. This is Velvet Remedy. Velvet Remedy in the fanfic is the main character's love interest or crush or whatnot. Sir? You,
Oh, no.
did you have a question? Okay. So basically, in the fic, that is her role based on the author's playthrough of Fallout Equestria. But in the game, she will be one of the main squad mates. Like, think of her as the Garrus or Liara.
Some calibrations.
So anyway, yes, so she's been described as Rarity 2.0 because she can sing and is...
Careful, you're angering a lot of fans.
A lot of people say Rarity 2.0. I'm just going by what the internet told me. So, anyway, so yeah, so her voice is supposed to be gorgeous. She's supposed to be beloved by the Vault, or Stable as they're called underground. So you'll be hearing her voice actor.
And we're going to walk you through one of these dialogue trees, actually, and you, the audience, get to decide.
We're going to play Choose Your Own Adventure. So let me just zoom out of this dialogue tree, actually. So anyway.
This is one that was created by our script team, actually, and this is just one conversation tree.
This
That actually goes to
for everybody, yeah, this is one conversation, but anyway.
of many.
This is Chat Mapper. Non-linear dialogue in games. This is basically what it looks like, and it is awesome.
And we take all this, so the script, this is the language that script team can understand and actually make visually. Obviously the tools Chat Mapper provides, and then it parses it into our dialogue engine, matches it with what the audio we're about to show you, and then
Immediately lip syncs it.
And lip syncs it, types all the text, you have the dialogue options. There's no programming, pretty much, there's very minimal, I'll say, programming needed to actually implement it.
It blew my mind the first time I saw it, because like the program lead just exported that into, you know, XML, which is another language, and then exported the audio, and then all of a sudden, you know, there's a pony sitting there talking to me with the dialogue that I just got.
Oh, that's another thing. We also have lip syncing actually with this. So the voice actually,
Tangarella, something like
yeah, Tangarella actually an open source morpher, so you'll actually see, so we can dynamically, we don't have to go and have 3D team remodel like the talking animations or make it look like bad lip syncing. It does it all within the game engine. So we're actually quite proud of that. And that's actually going to be part of the demo at some point here, but let me zoom back in. Do you want to hold this?
This right.
I would love to hold the microphone.
So basically what's going on here, guys, is that you might see some discrepancies between the audio and the tree here, mainly just because, you know, we let our voice actors do a lot of improv, so it sounds more natural and more conversational and all that, because if you have crappy voice acting, you might as well not have a game. Anyway, so Velvet walks in, sees Pip's black eye, says, "Oh, geez."
And says, "Oh, geez," yes.
Says nothing.
No.
Jeez. Jeez, what did you do?
What now?
God dang it, little fat.
There you go. There we go. Hang on.
Crank that.
I'm just gonna make her very, very loud. Oh, by the way, the voice actress is Miss Kari Favoli of Atlanta, Georgia. She is lovely. So anyway, so Vel walks in.
Excuse me, I'm afraid I need. Oh, dear. Are you all right?
To which we respond.
What's the 245 dialogue?
245.
Let's talk about waterfall for a second. Do you want me to like zoom out?
Well, no, you got to zoom out a little bit to see. So this is where things get kind of funky, because we have a lot of responses and we don't want to write specific responses for absolutely everything. So if we have a response that can double dip, we'll just boom the player down to, where is it?
I think that's 45 down there.
45, yeah, zoom it.
It's like, that's 48, 45. This is
45.
strung together worse than I thought.
Yeah, so anyway.
45 is down there.
45 is down there. So basically, you can, as Velvet, excuse me, or be a complete snob and say, "How can I help you?" So, what do we want?
Show of hands!
Excuse me, or how can I help you?
How can I help you?
How can I help you? Okay, so just be a punk.
How's that punk? I think that is gracious. You're like, my presence is enough.
How can I help you?
Yep.
It goes to dialogue 18, to which Velvet responds. So you say, "How can I help you?" To which Velvet says, "Come on, buddy, you can do it. I got it."
My pit buck is chafing my leg horribly. Could you replace the padding?
So.
218. Where's 18? Where's 18?
I know, right?
Freaking out right now.
She's unbelievable. Yeah.
Where's your 18?
I don't even know.
The sole purpose for which I'm
This is like,
Is this what you came here for?
Yes.
We've got two more cool things, I promise. So 18 said, "My pit buck is beginning to chafe," to which we have the response of,
intelligence.
"It's starting to chafe, seriously." So
because-
do we want to try the intelligence check? Do we want to call her an idiot, or do we want to just dismiss her?
Go for the check.
You want to go for the check? Okay, so
Does anyone have a dice? Like,
this is one of my favorite responses I've ever written to anything ever. Because if you fail the intelligence check, say, "Oh, well, that's because you're using the old phone." If you fail the intelligence check, Velvet just kind of looks at you and goes,
That's a paper towel.
"I will never write another line of dialogue that's better than that, ever."
all right, that's been followed question. Everyone can go. No.
So anyway, but of course we all dumped all of our points into, you know, mechanicals.
Look, I think this audience is smart enough for a success, so you should go with it.
That will feel wonderful on my leg. Thank you. You've really gone above and beyond. This isn't much, but I hope it will do.
Anyway, So we do that.
We have a requirement, don't we?
Yes, we do. And then it's forced conversation. So no problem. I'll have it to you before closing. To which Velvet says,
No, no. No, that's fine. No need to rush yourself. I can wait until tomorrow.
This guy. All right, so
I like this guy's reaction. You should all be.
Dreams come true right now.
What?
Yeah, you might be making some dreams come true.
yeah. We can't talk about those dreams on the panel. I don't have an 18A panel. This is 14.
Okay, so we can let this go and say like, all right, well, see you tomorrow, whatever, weirdo, or do we want to pry?
She's already why?
The why?
Pride. Let's cry. Come on in, y'all. Sit down. We got room. We got room. Okay, so.
Yeah. So the why?
Yeah. Why tomorrow?
Oh, you need to know the number. I'm sorry. I'm like waiting on you. Like.
Yeah, I know. So to which Velvet responds.
I just need to rest my leg a little. Let the ointment sink in.
Yeah.
So do we let it go or do we?
Must be so.
Speech check.
We'll be right here.
You're righteous? Okay, so we're going speech check.
No, it's freaking fascist.
Who does not at least attempt a check on stuff?
Yeah. So you might as well try it.
Okay, you need to know the numbers, don't you?
Diplomater.
So you want to play both then, I guess?
And if you fail it entirely,
Oh dear.
she gets a little pissed.
I'm just sick of it all, and I'd appreciate it if you'd keep it behind that counter of yours and drop the matter entirely.
That's stressful.
That's why you don't do a check. I'm
Oh, Jesus! Hey, God, I'm done.
This woman has PMS, I'm leaving.
But of course, we're playing on God mode, and we're all passing this here. Come on in. If you want to hang out. Okay, never mind. All right.
I keep thinking, I'm talking into my water bottle instead of the microphone. Give me that.
So anyway,
Water mic.
so if you convince Velva, like, I'm on to you, Missy, she...
How about you just hang on to it until tomorrow?
That's
And
creepy.
keep this in the face of any other questions.
She's in charm mode right now.
That's creepy.
I call that more manipulative. Oh, you turned it off.
I did.
Why? My mic, my beautiful mic.
That's fine. So
25.
anyway, so you go, okay, well, see you tomorrow, and then Velvet says,
Goodbye. And good luck with everything.
and that's Velvet's first tree.
Good luck.
So what do you think?
That's awesome.
What do you do with the voice actor? Is he awesome or what?
That's for you, Kari. Anyway,
Ali
so
Monty voice.
no.
Yeah, actually, she voices the radio play actually.
Yeah.
And she does a superb job of it. We tried inquiring with this. She's been extremely busy recently, so.
Yeah,
do?
she's got enough free projects on her plate right now, so sadly she couldn't. But Kari does okay.
I'm pretty happy with Kari.
I'm very happy with Kari. So, they're in a vault. It's called a stable. It's like I know. It's weird. So it's apparently shaped like an upside down stable.
And soon we will release the stable edition.
And I know. Now that we have more people, let's do another poll. How many of y'all have heard the Velvet songs on our YouTube?
Oh wow,
If y'all like that, you will love.
You want me to bring up YouTube?
I promise.
I am killing so much data right now. You have no idea.
okay.
But it's worth it.
Completely
We
worth
love it.
Yeah, totally.
If you want to do it. Like, do y'all want to hear Velvet sing? Do you want to hear Velvet sing?
Oh dear. Well, I hate you too, Galaxy.
Or we could do all the original content. Maybe if there's time at the end, we can do Velvet sing and stuff. Yeah, let's get.
People are finally coming in. Actually, probably.
Yeah.
Whoever came from Black Griffin's
Come on
panel,
in.
actually.
What are you doing? Come back.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Think about it.
Huh?
Since we know the main character is possible to have a voice actor for the book as well?
Well, it's funny. We're going back and forth on that. Honestly, there is a crap ton of dialogue for Little Pip. not only that, we're also, and I see what you're saying, you know, like if we know the character is Commander Shepard, can we have a voice for Commander Shepard? Currently that's up in the air. We're actually split pretty evenly on it, so...
Might be the silent protagonist. Maybe.
Yeah.
We don't want to define the character too much.
Yeah, mainly because in Bethesda's game, you know, you have the silent prisoner, the silent protagonist, etc., and it's your voice coming out of there.
So we going with Step Around, I guess, or
nah.
Main Squeeze?
No.
Main Squeeze?
No, we can wait for it till the end. We gotta get to the...
Yeah, no spoilers till the end.
Yeah.
That one.
It's definitely...
Going back to the presentation then, I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, this?
Okay. So anyway, here's some concept art.
We like have concept art, just have it. No, okay. So we wanted to actually, so we do have a lot of concepting actually from 2D artists to try and build this into something a little bit more that we can visualize and everything. We've had some great concept art. We haven't got all our all our concept art, and Cutie Mark concept art. Out there yet, but we've gotten enough that we're pretty close to finishing a lot of our concept art from at least a staple perspective. And from that, no, I'm not making another pun again. Don't. Look, once is okay, twice is not. And then from there we just take it, and so here's another one of like how we had to redesign the pit buck a little bit. So obviously a lot of like, you know, Fallout derivatives, of course. You know, monitoring how they actually interact with the knobs to be actually turned back. Because we're like, yeah, I know they just have hoops. It's like, are we going with like the sticky hoops theory here or something like that?
Yeah, and the way they actually redesigned the trigger was really cool. It's big old buttons, kind of like a telephone, and then a trackball.
It's one of those like
if anybody wants to come in, feel free to sit down.
There's cookies.
Okay. It's okay. We have chairs. We're all friendly.
Y'all welcome to walk in. So again, then we translate that into something like this is actually rendered in engine. So we translate that to AR. It's still much a work in process. Progress. I'm trying to say words again.
It's okay.
I tried to word.
It's okay.
Yeah, I tried to word.
It's okay.
All right. So this is actually we used actually a lot of the original Fallout 3 assets just to kind of get a design layout, and that's what you're actually seeing here. We're considering replacing them very shortly. But
except for the pony.
Except for the pony, that's ours. And then with the pit buck on there that we actually concept.
And by the by, this is an in-game render.
Reset that.
Oh,
do you want to say it again? Just be sure.
I do want to say it. That is an in-game render.
That is not no. Okay, already you're doing better than most of the companies at E3.
This is our game, it does stuff.
No, wait. E3 needs something. E3 needs like, it needs this, and then it needs a lot of, where's my Mountain Dew or something I can post on this? Or, I don't know. Or we just take like, E3's about like just being like, oh, here's my money. Ow! Take my money.
Sweet.
Look, that's essentially useless. You're just gonna run now, aren't you?
No, I'm gonna sit right here.
That's your allowance for the weekend, all right? Oh, my money.
So.
We got more where that came from. Wait, no, we're non-profit. No, we don't. I regret this decision instantly.
Oh, okay. So. Anyway,
are we already too far into this?
You guys want to hear the menu music? Because that's a menu screen.
Yeah, getting close to the final version of that. So, and you want to just take it away? Everybody have an eargasm.
Do you guys want to hang out for a few minutes and listen to the menu music?
Yes. All right, prepare your ears.
All right, cool. You asked for it. be going up after this weekend, so you guys can listen to it on YouTube.
I'm downloading this.
War Machine. This is probably going to be a red eye.
So what do you guys all think of that? There were manly pride tears.
So just a bit of credit where credit is due. That was put together by myself and our music team lead, Adam. And the themes came from Dr. Dissonance, if you guys are familiar with him doing the stuff. Like the beginning was definitely his. That was actually his Velvet theme that we repurposed for it. The second bit that kind of sounded like Halo, sorry, was mine. And all the quiet piano parts were Adam's, the music team lead, and then the War Machine was a hybrid of Dr. Dissonance and our orchestrator, James. So it really was a team effort, and we just put it all together.
The violinist?
Oh, the violinist is my friend, believe it or not, my buddy from college, Mike. He's trying to get his strings out there. All those live strings were him.
Yeah.
Just copied him about 4 or 5.
Honestly, if any team, I honestly think sound design is like just nailed in terms of like quality and everything.
Oh, but
it doesn't mean all the other teams are bad. I mean,
That was beautiful.
So anyway, yeah. So that's where we're sitting on the menu now, and you know, the only thing that I had iffy about is that, you know, we're doing it in mono versus if I put it on the internet, y'all have nice headphones, be able to
This sound a lot better.
in the spread. So it'd be great. So
yeah, look forward to
I
that.
don't think he's going to live to the battle.
It's all right. I will take one question.
So now when I play Fallout, I can blast this up with my cracking speakers, and it will still be amazing.
yeah. Well, I mixed it for mono. As soon as I heard that like we were doing that, I was like, ah, crap. So I just sat here for half an
the
hour.
speakers will survive the impact of the awesomeness, but that's up for you to decide.
We'll try.
Thanks,
Well,
Kyle.
this,
I know.
I'm just borrowing them, so.
Borrowing the sounds.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess this is the biggest question anyone has ever asked us.
Can you just release the menu? That was awesome.
Just click play on the menu and be done with it. We wanted to show a demo preview, but team over in Finland had some issues, and they were really working hard on this, like all night and everything. And
but it's gonna be up in like a week at the most, and it's gonna be polished and it's gonna be pretty, and
So we
so.
will have a gameplay demo by next week.
I haven't been because
Tentatively.
it's kind of funny because they told us like yesterday they're like everything is SOL, every critical fit, every critical system that could fail has failed, and I'm like, you guys have put in like way too much effort to this.
And so I'm sitting here like a Bond villain, like, you know, constructing, you know, like, how do I please their ear holes?
If there's anything, I think you've achieved that. I've just made them painful with puns, but moving on from that. So yes, when the game is done, I guess we have to say when it's done. We have no strict deadline, but we're trying to set like increments and deadlines. Maybe we don't know how that's going to play into gameplay and releasing.
Yeah, and we're going to be doing bi-weekly updates. Everybody who's following the blog, we're overmare.com. Get it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And we have t-shirts. So we'll be doing that, and it's probably going to be a few years, but you know, y'all will be able to watch it, you know, form. And thanks so much for the support, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are awesome.
I will take your question back.
I probably haven't been following this as close as I need to be, but I just have one main question I asked because we're talking about game.
Main question. Go on. Go on.
What are you doing to prevent the two main issues that affect the most important games, legal issues and spontaneous game failures?
Yep, very good questions. Can I actually answer that in the Q&A? Bring that up again? Like just go through these last few slides and then readdress that issue?
I was just curious.
Yeah.
I thought you were closing because you asked.
No. They scheduled us for an hour and a half here. I don't know if
we got 30 minutes to just talk about stuff. So
talk about awesome stuff you guys want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll take that feedback to heart. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So, like we were saying, when it's going to be done, well, we are aiming for that demo we've kind of mentioned offhand and kind of jump between subjects, like we do a lot. But sorry. Yep. But so we are aiming for that demo and everything. We want to get the gameplay demo out in a few, maybe I'm going to say a few weeks, honestly, but I guess a week is the optimal time to get that out, because then you can actually see what you're going to be playing and everything. We have, like we said, it's going to be pretty story-driven. We're hoping to have kind of that sample stable to gameplay, and then to get feedback from you guys on that, so we can address the whole wasteland then. So if we're like, this needs to be fixed, this is a stupid game design idea, and you guys should feel bad about your idea, then we want to hear that. We're very vocal about our opinions and everything. We always post them, and despite how controversial they could be, we still want to hear them. So don't feel ashamed to be like, you know what, you guys suck and need to do this better. We've got that. I hope it's not the music department though, right? Yeah, you're like, I can take it.
Bring it on.
All right. You heard it from Yanni here. You can bring it on.
Musicians are the most opinionated jackholes ever.
Yeah.
So
You could tell the trumpet was fake.
What?
It needs more cowbell.
No, I definitely could tell the trumpet was fake. I mean, honestly, that's not, a totally finished project. I still have to master it, I still have to EQ it, I still have to mess with the...
So now you're saying you're not open to criticism, but that's what you're saying because you...
I'm just saying I can...
Can you please make a version of that whole song with a guy banging on a cowbell?
Smash that Will Ferrell in it.
There'll just be a 10-hour remix. There'll be one of those 10-hour playlists on YouTube, just cowbells.
I'll just find where the frequency of the cowbell is and just dip the entire master thing, so you just hear the cowbell at that frequency. So, anyway.
All right, now we can go into Q&A, and I will address the issue in the back, the two main issues. Like we were saying earlier, some people walked in later when we were talking about mostly like why Canada and how we address like C and Ds. Well, I'm telling you right now, off the bat, the short answer is I don't. I shred them when they come in.
Have we ever gotten one?
I think I've gotten one. I don't know. It was worded. It was worded poorly. It was like a 13-year-old wording it. That's basically a lawyer. I mean, it doesn't. No. I'm kidding. If Asma wants to take me or to court, you could more than welcome to. I mean, I have my defense solid. I know I have lawyers. I've actually flown in a lawyer from Toronto. Expensive, and he billed me for the time and everything. And I got his opinion on this stuff. I basically memorized this Copyright Act in Canada and international acts and how they apply to us and how we actually address this. We have legal contact also on our contact form. But like I said, we address the main. In Bill C-11 in that amendment, in that user-generated content, there's 3 conditions, and we follow all 3 conditions. But that doesn't necessarily stop C&Ds from coming in. Like, we all know that. Everyone gets one, and they're just thrown out left and right. They're like, hey, Google, you get one. I was like, I didn't do anything, but you still get one. Have one. They're just free. No effort required. Have a C&D for... Okay, but...
If you don't do stuff, you get one.
Yeah, I mean, you can just exist. Here's your C&D for existing. No.
You look too like our character in the show.
Your other question about spontaneous team failure, that is the reality that we deal with every day. We're not paying anybody. We can't say, what the heck am I paying you for, and motivate them to do stuff, and your wife and kids will go hungry, or your husband and kids will go hungry.
So you're saying that can't threaten our teammates? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying you've got a lot to lean on somebody if you're paying their bills, and but at this point we've been working on this for about a year and a half, and the people at the top are in it for the long haul. I mean, we've been taking care of this kind of stuff. We've gotten fast at doing our jobs, so it really is like we have this little few hours a day cut aside for hobby time, and this just happens to be in our hobby. So yeah, the people in the teams will come and go because we've got a lot of college kids who can only work during the summer. We've got a lot of high school kids who are really into the pony thing, and they'll probably grow out of it.
Everyone works an 8-to-5 job kind of thing.
Absolutely. So I mean, the short answer to your question is spontaneous team failure only happens when it's rotting from the top down and our top people are solid. So
there's a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, like me being in Canada, I'm one of the only Canadians on the team. I know, right? Sucks. Is that I actually own like all the legal stuff points to actually me, like points back to me, like anything from the domain alias to who owns the servers. We have our architecture is actually currently spread between, for anyone interested, between a private sector in Montreal, pardon me, and the government sector in Calgary. So government is giving me resources as well to utilize, which is actually pretty awesome. So we're spread, for redundancy. We also, everybody has a copy of everything. It's because we have revisioning in programming that is basically keeping a copy on every computer and being able to what we call branch or create, features of it and being able to upload that anywhere. So it's not like, oh, 1% of the source code and now they're gone kind of deal. I mean, sure, some things can be detrimental when a team member leaves or we have to dismiss somebody, but it's never gotten to the point right now, and we hope it never does get to the point where we have to say, we just lost, half our team here, we have to like disembark or something.
Yeah, if anything, that spontaneous team failure that you're talking about was going to happen a year and a half ago until we did this big nuclear reassessment of where we're going, and that's when we switched to Unity, switched out of the GEC, canned people who weren't doing their stuff, because you get a lot of that in the teams too.
Oh, both you have a question. You should rock, paper, scissors to see who you question. Do it.
Cage match.
Do it. Do
Cage
it.
match. Yes.
Pretty lame rock, paper, scissors. Oh, sorry.
It's actually called Rochambeau too.
We'll do it again.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be like adding a hardcore mode?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have stories for you.
The design team is so excited about a hardcore mode. The design team is excited to get to combat, period. Like, we are currently building the Legos of the stuff we're going to start putting on top of each other. We haven't even touched combat because we're working on...
It's so hardcore that there's acid rain that will actually wear you down.
That
If you go to
thing.
Canada, you'll actually die in 5 seconds.
There's that seems a bit, that goes against like everything in the fic. I'm not saying if I throw myself in Canterlot I would survive any better.
But
what do you
no,
think?
but no.
Okay. Answers that.
But you do legitimately have to take shelter in acid rain. Obviously, if there's acid rain, there's no fast travel, and fast travel is currently something we're discussing. But that's besides the point.
There's other things.
Yes.
Yes.
Is the short answer.
Yes is the short answer. It's one of the features we'll spoil.
So it's not hardcore, it's uber hardcore.
It's
That's
the hardcore. Thank you. Bye. It's the kind of hardcore that
Apparently they don't have
your mother
questions.
warned you about.
So it's not extra features, it's made you cry.
Well, we actually, just like if anyone's played actually the new Thief, we're looking into actually, like, what I really love about this, and actually Total Biscuit said too, if anyone follows it, how you're actually able to customize the difficulty. So you'll actually be able to customize how hardcore it is or how much you want to play. We'll have some default settings, obviously, but we're going to make suggestions on top. There's going to be obviously suggestions, and we're going to add gameplay. It's kind of interesting to see how that's going to work. Yes?
One of the big things I always see in games is lately when people always depend on story and that, they'll look to make character development. So there's going to be a party system.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we didn't attack. We didn't attack that, did we? There will be squad commands.
Is
There's,
there going to be dynamic relationship and character development?
Yes.
We're just going to cut it off at relationship there. That's as much as we said.
There will be complex character interactions. Yes.
So like
unless I'm
Baldur's Gate
mistaken,
2 kind of party stuff.
Yeah, kind of. It's actually kind of funny. The remake of that too is my best friend worked on that. So
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, like there's things which you should.
how about the dynamic squad system? Because there's that. There's the basically if you've ever played Battlefield 3 or 4, and you could like hold down Q to actually spot or something like that. Instead, we have like actually a wheel come up, and you can hover over your party members in this radius. And it kind of is a lot of work. Like we said, we derive from other games, but we kind of want to go on our own path here. And there is so there are squad commands like that we're working towards in the combat system when we hope to finally polish that and release it. We've completely redesigned the UI. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous what we've been able to do with it. Just one second. You've been having a question for a while, and I do not want to ignore you, sir.
So, I will go back to when you guys had that development reset. Could you say you had a Fallout?
Get out.
I've been outgunned.
Get out.
All right, I will.
So, with the squad mates, will the squad mates actually hold the personalities that they did in the fanfic? Like, Velvet Remedy, if you tell her to shoot someone, she'll whine and complain?
That depends how you develop your relationship with her,
Yes,
actually.
it actually does. Because kind of like in, has anybody here played KOTOR 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know how your squad mates kind of like react to the kind of stuff that you do and either go down the path of the dark side or the light side, and yeah, I mean like you're gonna have. Should I really talk about this?
Yes.
Okay,
It's all on camera.
No.
I'll hold you against it.
Depending upon your situations, based on the bad stuff that happens to your squad mates, will determine what kind of person they end up being.
Their efficiency, their specialties, actually, so you don't get the same linear character. It's like, oh, so now I gotta go like, what is it, like romance Morgan in Dragon Age now, because that has to do where I'm gonna die at the
God, they
end.
hard sell that so much.
I'm sorry about the spoilers. The best thing I could come up with.
Okay. Anyway, so
The more they get shot, the more useless they are.
Well, not necessarily. There's actually a fear mechanic that we haven't actually discussed too much on, and actually a little heartbeat. It's very subtle and minimal, and will actually affect how enemy AI will actually interact with you and where they'll take cover, what they'll do. Maybe they won't be as tactical. Like if you're providing cover and cover, if I am shooting, a bazillion bullets over your head with, or in a party cannon or whatever you have in your store, then you should be scared.
and just to put it out there will be a blob monster.
A blob monster, apparently.
A blob monster, the tentacle monster.
Oh god.
No.
Yeah.
Look, it is safe for work.
In Following Question, there was this weird blob monster that looked weird and gross and tentacles.
Horrifying.
Like it looks like a centaur, but pony and gross.
Oh god, that thing.
Yeah, we're still taking questions. I just want to go to the next slide. It was
Yes,
boring.
Mr. Armor.
I'm wondering about one of the big things in the fanfic is that the alicorns, every time you fight one, it's going to be harder. Is there going to be any sort of difficulty ramping with them?
That's currently up for discussion and design. We have to see what, honestly, we're capable of doing technically, because that's really complex AI crap.
There's a few ideas circulating around, so we kind of want to say, because it's not like, oh, I know how to defeat this alicorn, because that was the whole point, that they learn from your tactical advantages, and they overcome that. But it is like pretty complex AI, and we're going to see if we can't do that, obviously.
Well, we'll get something cool, but it might not be exactly that. Okay. We'll be working with it.
We're going to experiment.
Yes, dude in the back.
Two questions. One
Yes.
of my favorite things about Follow the Question is how they implemented the way they use a combat saddle. Is there going to be like variants with that? Or?
There will be battle saddles. We actually have something on our YouTube of a speed paint of our concept designer lead actually making a battle saddle. So if you want to see our design, it is online.
Really cool, but I was asking if there'd be like variants, one for big gun, one for small gun.
Yeah. We're looking to make battle saddles customizable.
There's a bunch of things we gotta do.
Yeah.
The funnest thing is gonna be telekinesis, I can tell you right now, in
Oh,
combat
yeah.
style. It's gonna be like we're bringing back the gravity gun from the end of Half-Life 2, basically, is what it is. If you overcharge that thing, you just fling the nearest colt into a wall. Well, not colt, stallion.
Jedi Academy, you just pick
Can't kill kids.
Oh, hello, Raider.
Yes,
How are
okay.
you handling like?
Oh, the second question. Sorry, I forgot about your second question.
Yes,
Go.
your second question.
Memory orbs. Like, how are you handling?
They will be found footage pre-rendered cutscenes.
They will be pre-rendered, but you'll be able. We're actually doing a trick a visual trick that you can actually be able to adjust the camera slightly your vision,
you
like a
remember-
peripheral vision, if you have an FOV.
Yeah. You remember that part in Skyrim where you get sent back in time to the whole Alduin thing to learn the Dragon Rend, but you can still kind of look as you're doing?
Like you could essentially focusing on your peripheral vision.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, and you can decide like where to, look within the frame of
Yeah, because it's interesting, because we don't want to encase or entrap the user, but we want to give them the experience that they are seeing this through the eyes of another pony, obviously.
And the actual compiling thing, like that plugin you showed me for the compiling in the memory roads is going to look awesome. Like, it looks so cool.
I'm going to take his question first, just because...
How exactly are you planning to handle the magic system?
Ooh, the branches in the magic system.
Yeah, I don't. Can we talk about that?
Not in depth without spoiling actually some of the story actually, because there's story elements that actually play into the magic system and choices.
Okay.
I apologize for that. Actually, it's very interesting.
Anyway, sir.
How complex is the dismemberment?
Wait, what? What? Planks?
Like in Fallout 3, when you do enough damage to someone, like when they're dead, they'll lose an arm or a head.
Yeah. Are you guys implementing that, or is it just going to be a ragdoll flop?
No. We're doing. There's dismemberment in it.
I was gonna say, yeah, we've been talking about doing dismemberment for a while.
Oh, it's been in development for a while because we've had to redo it, and the gore of that, horrifying.
Yeah, and Unity has this plugin that's like dynamic bone breaking too. So I mean, it's not terribly hard.
So yeah, actually, after we've rated, you can specify bones and actually where they impact by doing ray tracing. You can actually find out, and like, some ideas were like shrink down the bone to 0 and snap it off or something like that. And like I said, they're kind of gory details. I won't get into it.
Yeah, and the only issue is that a lot of these kinds of plugins are specifically for bipedal, so we're really confusing the engine when we're doing it.
That was the worst thing, because when we were in the GEC, we were like, what body rig are we going to use? Okay, you're going to be a dog, but you're going to be completely demorphed. Like, it's just, this abomination. Oh, I still have images of like the dog forming around the pony.
Kyle's going to a bad place right now. that we all call the Dark Ages. So yeah,
it's a reason.
Yeah. So anyway, somebody else has something.
And how long have you guys been working on this so far?
Well, the actual idea to put it together came out probably just around the time it ended.
3 years ago. I think, like 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. But the actual, like, in the current state, using Unity and building the system, building the Legos.
It's been a year.
Year and a half.
Just about a year.
So we've got mostly all the basic functionality down, and so yes.
Have there been any moments when you guys were working on it that you've just watched afterwards and were like, oh my god, we seriously just made that because it was just too epic?
Watching the lip sync
is
the greatest thing. The built-in lip sync is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Hopefully, it's the greatest thing you'll ever see.
And live, for me as a sound designer, live mixing the Orchard blew my friggin' mind.
It's so serenic, actually. I love the Orchard.
It's so cool because basically we got like these random leaf and like creaks, and then we have like this low hum of the giant fans up there. And so, like, I was just sitting there and like playing with the faders and just sitting there and listening to the breeze.
With Fmod, we made this dynamic actually engine on top of the Crusader engine that actually kind of plug and play. It's really nice, and it's not going to sound boring. Like
the pitch randomizes, the timing randomizes. It sounds like an organic setting. Like I said, boom.
That's what we're all about. We're about getting that organic feel and everything, engagement. Yes, in the back.
You guys were talking about how your team right now is really strong. I was just wondering if you guys gained notoriety after the game's kind of released. Do you guys have any future plans to do anything?
Ooh. There's been talk actually about.
We to be fair, I mean, like, we're all creatives and we do this in our spare time because we're really passionate about it. We're passionate about our craft, and yeah, we've all got our side projects, and honestly, I don't think anybody working with us doesn't have a dream project on their plate. So yeah, I mean, when we're done with this, we'll absolutely do another.
We'll absolutely consider other works, and that's why we're going to the brand. Like we said, we went to the brand Overmare Studios. Yeah. We don't want to lock ourselves into any creative content in any form, any limitation, any medium.
Right.
But like you said, like my job actually, I'm a software engineer, and I work in town here. And the thing about it, I used to be in the game dev industry. And then I moved over to software, but I still want to work on this game. I still want to make more after. It's just a way of life.
Yeah. So satisfies the niche.
You pick one.
Orange guy hasn't had a question yet. Yeah.
I just question.
Yes.
What is like character customization, like armors and stuff? You can pick stuff up.
That's currently in development. Honestly, we don't know.
There's going to be no. Actually, they told us this beforehand. There's going to be no there's going to be like individual parts of armor, custom like individual pieces of armor, but you're not going to be able to like customize it to an extent like I'm going to be the pink crusader of the wasteland and I'm going to just plow down everyone. I think that's the best way to put it.
However awesome that would be.
I think that would be actually great because we've done some great customizations. Unfortunately, like I said, the horror story with the fur I accidentally turned Velvet into pretty much a Flufflepuff. It was very scary for everyone.
We've got pictures of it somewhere.
Somewhere around here. I can probably post that up somewhere on Twitter or something and people can be just horrified at my evil. Alright, you pick another person.
Follow guy.
So you were saying before, and I don't think I understood it correctly, is there, you might be doing customization, but you might also be playing as the main character Little Bit?
Everybody's playing as the savior of the wasteland. Regardless of what you decide to do with that power is entirely up to you.
I would call it savior.
And that is Little Pip. Your character will be named Little Pip. It will call you by name, kind of like Commander Shepard.
But you can be male or female.
Yep.
You can also change colors and accessories. We'll see about that going into that.
Relationships, etc. If you choose to open that path.
How you choose to play Little Pip will be entirely up to you. So we want to make it a little bit story driven, but we don't want to rail anyone at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing. Yanni, pick another person, Stuart.
Pick another person. Shining Armor, you haven't had one in a while.
I'm wondering about character deaths. I mean, not main character, of course, but squad and stuff like that. If it's going to be kind of like, for example, I was playing Dead State, and everybody and anyone can die in that one. Yeah. Or is it going to be kind of like Fallout, where you have characters that will survive no matter what? Or
that's actually a subject that is very much up for debate right now.
Very controversial.
Yeah, it's very controversial. And that's another one of the things that we're kind of split on. Short answer is I don't know. But we're definitely looking into that.
You're the only one traveling the wasteland very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And then I mean honestly, you'll have the option to travel the wasteland alone, and but the honestly, we need to build combat before we start.
You know what we didn't explain about that? There is something about that. Is that, like we said, we can have two, we're currently planning for 2 sidekicks at a time. We can have, or I call them sidekicks at least.
which is the massive model, like we were saying.
We're having hub towns where you can actually trade them off and exchange them. Be like, oh, meet me back at the bar, kind of like in Fallout did. And you can actually, oh, you didn't tell about the, was it the Zippy brothers?
Oh, the Blink brothers.
Oh, the Blink brothers.
Yeah. Once again, can we talk about this?
Have to leave that out, I guess, for now. Keep you waiting. I'm sorry.
You mentioned it and then say nothing. It's torture.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, well,
we will. There will be details on it soon.
In due time, Padawan.
In due time, when the gameplay demo.
Yes.
How's Homage? Like, are you guys working on Homage yet?
Yeah, her character as like a voice actor or like model or
like everything from DJ Pone 3 to
DJ Pone 3 has been cast. Homage will be perfectly voiced by No Lacking.
Oh no.
Yaha.
You weren't supposed to say that.
It's on the site.
What?
Yeah, it's on the site. it's on the public cast list. Remember?
Well, damn.
Yeah. So anyway, honestly, Homage is so far off that we haven't even worried about it at this point. Like I said, we're still building combat, we're still building stuff. As soon as we start building Manhattan, then we'll dive into that.
There better be a base cannon. That's all I can say.
Easter egg.
Yes, something along those lines. All right.
All right.
Anyone? Yes.
How about like smaller scale RPG statistics? Are you planning to just basically use the Fallout special system or something else?
We are actually going with the special system as far as we're aware for just saying those initial traits.
We'll be tweaking on a case-by-case basis, but that's generally...
Like I said, we're borrowing a lot of ideas, but we're also trying to derive off it to kind of create our own. So that, we're trying to learn from like where actually failure is in games and not just like pull out the success and then throw a bunch of game mechanics into a video game, because that's like the wrong way to do it. No one knows.
Yeah. The tone in this game is a constant subject of argument. We need to make it feel like Fallout, but on the other hand, we still need it to have the emotional weight that Fallout Equestria has. So that's Yeah.
Very passionate about that.
Very, 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 very passionate about it, and passionate from both ends. But we will work until we get it right. So anyway,
gonna be wrapping up soon here. So.
Yeah, in the back.
In the FIC, there was like circumstantial perks that you could get that was acquired through circumstance. Is that going to be in the game as well?
Substantial what?
Substantial perks.
Like how when Little Pit moved the giant container box across that one out once you got the heavy lifter first.
Right.
Yeah. Did we talk about perk acquisition? I think it's still more of a choice on the leveling system.
That's a honestly that's a design question, and I just make the pretty sense. So
I just implement the design decisions. Unfortunately, I can't answer that to the full extent I'd like to. Unfortunately.
Well, hopefully at some point we'll get one of our we'll get our design lead, and honestly thank you for asking a whole ton of questions, because we're going to be sending this to the rest of the team in Finland, and they might be able to provide some more details.
They might be able to, yeah.
Yes.
How big are you planning on making the world map? Will it just include like the Equestria, or will it include Poop and Tin?
Morrowind huge.
Yeah, it's Huffington will not be included because that's a Project Horizon thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Stay away from that. No, stay away from that. I'm sorry. We are concentrating on the core fic. We are concentrating on the core fic of Fallout Equestria, and quite frankly, taking that and then expanding on like possible options. Because keep in mind, the fic of Fallout Equestria is Kkat's playthrough of Fallout Equestria, and we have to account for the rest of the moral decisions, the rest of the narrative decisions, and all of that. The game's getting huge.
Like I said, you could easily, I guess the word I almost swore that you could easily take off some people, but it's about taking off the right people.
Yeah.
So.
and honestly, I mean, like there are some elements of Project Horizon that have been pitched to us that we're considering, but it, like I've said about 5 times here, it is on a case-by-case basis. You know, if there is a perfect quest that we want to rip directly from the fic, absolutely, because you know it fits within the narrative. But we're not going to be doing.
Even then, our scriptwriters have been pretty creative on their own, I have to say. Like some of those quests, you pick another.
Like my heist.
Yeah. There's 2, there's 3, there's 3.
Back row.
Actually, just remember this. Will there be like quests that are timed, like have a time limit? Like in the fic, Little Pit passes out from overdose, and because of that, someone dies.
Yeah.
Will there be like that kind of?
No, I believe we said no to that. It's too stressful in like an RPG to actually have.
Yeah, especially when you have the sats and when you have eyes forward sparkle. I mean, like you can't have basically a turn-based game and then put a ticking clock on it.
All right, guys, I will take 2 more questions. All right, Shining Armor, you get first one.
And then music and beat.
One of the things you mentioned is, taking stuff from Project Horizon. How many different of the Fallout Equestria, there's...
Side effects?
Yeah, a number of them. How many have you borrowed from, per se?
Currently, we've only borrowed from... And when I say elements in Project Horizon, I mean element 1.
Very basic.
One basic element, and it's not even expanded upon. It's like one narrative idea.
And some things that even been coincidental, unfortunately. Like we've just gotten to like implemented something and we're like, this is very similar to Murky Number 7. And people are like, I've never read that. And you're like, ah.
So as far as side fics, none really. Like I said, we're just sticking with
trying to keep the scope reasonable.
It could be similar by proxy.
Could be similar by proxy. I mean, like to be fair, narratively speaking, there are only 7 real stories. So yeah, something's gonna sound like something.
All right, guys. Last question. Who wants it? Obviously, guys. Okay.
Bookend us.
Are you guys planning any Easter eggs?
Tons.
Not as much as like, I don't want to call them out, but Double Rainbow. Not as much as like say that kind of like references.
There's Easter eggs and then there's pandering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like Easter eggs, like you just walk around and you see a picture. And you're like, oh, I get that. And you continue on your little way.
There's definitely going to be that. I mean, there's going to be many nights where we're just going to be like, we need to put something in here.
We will have sprinkles of references. We have a wish list. That's like, if we have time and we're not ready to kill ourselves after we're done with development, we would like to have this and this and this and this.
Fall Equestria coming 25th, everyone.
Seriously. So, anyway.
All right.
All right.
So to wrap it up there, guys. Like I said, I guess join me for a drink at any point if you find me around.
Yep.
No problem. Check us out at overmare.com, and you can find all the bi-weekly updates. We want to progress with the audience and actually be very open about like our development. and feel free to leave feedback, email us, or whatever. So thank you again.
Stay engaged, and
play that song?
I absolutely have songs.
We do have another song if you want to sing.
We have 3 songs here. We have our 2 Velvet songs, and how many of y'all know the music of Haymaker Pony? Oh, we got a couple of people. Fantastic. Well, the Wasteland Whalers took a hold of his Whole Lot of Magic demo, and we brought it out into a full old vintage rock song, and it sounds like it belongs, you know, somewhere in the late 70s. So whether it's going to be in the game or not, I don't know, but it's cool.
Yeah, for your for your viewing pleasure while you get going.
While you file out, or you can chill and listen. Feel free.
In the window at the top of the stairs, I guess she's up there again.